the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One. Date August 31st, 2023. Law. Decree. We hereby confirm the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the world account in the World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers. Account number 01 00 01 4 888 C3AM01, distributed by various banks in all countries around the world. We hereby confirm the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the world account in the World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers. Account number 01 1 700 3516 222 777 888 999, distributed by various banks in all countries around the world. We remind you that Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of all world assets, including accounts under the names White Spiritual Boy, Spiritual Wonder Boy, Spiritual Wonder Brothers, Morning Star, King David, Prophet Muhammad, Damascene Saint Timothy, White Mongolia, White Vatican, White Eagle, Marie Sinukan or Divine Crystal, Marie Banaha or Divine Sunflower, Marie Christina or Divine Magdalene, Marie Maclean or Divine Easter Egg, Falcon, Alpha Omega, in various banks in 189 countries around the world. We hereby confirm all previous legal and subordinate sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, namely decrees, resolutions and orders, and all other lawful and sublegal sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, in pursuance of the right of the sovereign, the norms of international law, all ordinances, resolutions and orders, and all other lawful and by law sovereign international acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, based on numerous historical facts of mass genocide, torture, monstrous bullying, mass murder of children, old people as civilians in violation of all norms of law, in violation of historical nature divine law, the most cruel and merciless crimes against bright humanity and the law of creation. By God's grace, by right of the sovereign, in fulfillment of the divine sacred mission to affirm the divine law of creation and creation of the light creative world, based on the celestial principles of democracy, justice, love and harmony, for the creative, spiritual, and divine development of bright humanity in universal love and harmony with all existing and non-existing to the glory of the highest kind. By the right of the absolute owner and chief regulator of the entire world financial system, by the right of the absolute owner and manager of the 7 world assets in the entire world, on the basis of the exclusive historical right from the creator of the new era, on basis norms international law, on the basis of and in persons of the Sovereign International Legal and Bylaws Acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, we hereby proclaim order to all subjects and sub-subjects, to all existing and non-existing, from the moment of signing this decree, to stop all forms of genocide, all wars and any types of military operations in the whole world, with the exception of special military operations specified in Sovereign International Legal Legislative and by law acts of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, as the State Committee of the State of Emergency of the Great Sovereign Country, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, as well as the fair actions of the Great All-Heaven Divine Providence and the fair actions of the Great All-Heavenly Divine Providence, carry out a worldwide military reorganization, in pursuance of the World Military Organization, to all private, corporate, and any military organizations in the entire world, including the NATO bloc, all types of military organizations as the Army of the United States of America Corporation, all kinds of military organizations of the Army Corporation China, all types of military organizations as the Army of the State Cooperative Enterprise, Russian Federation, Russia, to all private and corporate military organizations of the world and warriors in the entire world, within 10 days enter the service in the Army of the world, under the full legal administration and order of the World Council of Sovereigns, namely in the subordination of the Supreme Military Command of the Sovereign Order of Saint, the embodied spirit of Mahdi on earth, Chairman of the State Committee for the State of Emergency of the USSR, Acting Chairman of the UN Security Council. Decree of the USSR State Emergency Committee, Number 4, dated June 13, 2023, Army General Boris Hashimovich Sadushev. All private, corporate, and military organizations, armies and warriors within 10 days send a written confirmation of their readiness to enter the service in the Army of the World under the full legal management and order of the World Council of Sovereigns, namely in the subordination of the Supreme Military Command of the Sovereign Order of St. Jerusalem, Rose, Maltese Supreme Sovereign Order of Hospitallers, as the person of the Knight and Commander of the Order, the bearer of the incarnate spirit of Mahdi on earth, the Chairman of the State Committee for the State of Emergency of the USSR, acting as the Chairman of the UN Security Council. Decree of the State Emergency Committee of the USSR, Number 4, dated June 13, 2023. General Army Boris Hashimovich Sadushev, to the official email protocol at twcs.world. From the moment of signing this decree, all private, corporate, and any military organizations, armies and warriors enter the process of reorganization and seize military and power capacity throughout the world. Punishment. In case of non-fulfillment of this decree within 10 days, all private, corporate, and any military organizations, armies and warriors are deprived of the right of subjectivity and any kind of legal capacity. All private, corporate military organizations, armies and warriors are recognized outside the divine law of creation and outside the law, in accordance with the committed crimes bear social, legal, general legal, spiritual, divine, and heavenly responsibility up to complete disincarnation. All types of property and assets are subject to immediate confiscation and transfer to the balance of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One for future distribution and use in order to form the army of the world. For the purposes of this law, all international and state counterterrorism, legal and enforcement organizations, all military organizations of the army of the world, all valid orders, all masters of the world systems, all masters of the world financial systems, all international and state-controlled organizations, all missionaries performing the sacred mission before united all God, all Creator, all Maker, giver of light and knowledge to the world, all world spaces, Yavi, Navi, Slavi, and Pravi, and persons of the all light, all heavenly, all divine providence, all great divine righteousness, all great cosmic forces, all divine armadas, all divine fleets, as well as the great fleet of RA, immediately begin to implement this decree in terms of its full implementation. To all bright humanity and all international subjects of law, organized on the basis of the celestial principles of democracy, and observing the celestial principles of democracy, Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One strongly recommends to conduct a self-organization procedure in the country in order to manifest the supreme people's power of the sovereign and return the supreme status of the motherland for a light, peaceful, and creative development in universal love and friendship throughout the world. The Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One recommends the competent and light approach to the issue of self-organization at the system level. The Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One wishes all countries, clans and tribes, all nations of the world of all bright humanity, the speedy restoration of the bright home under the sovereign flag, as a sacred name motherland, in the universal creative construction of our bright world, as the universal native temple. Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One firmly confirms this statement and in the future to impartially and correctly fulfill its light mission to restore justice and build the all-light, all-heavenly system. We should and will faithfully serve the bright humanity, and consequently, all God, all Creator, all creative family as the supreme and the one all-heavenly, all to God, all to the Creator, all creative of all existing and non-existent, as the creation of all light, all great, all heavenly. Om. His Majesty Alexander, the King of Kings, White Spiritual Boy, Secretary General of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, President of White Spiritual Boy, RSB, Global Corp Incorporated, Grand Intendant of the Sovereign Order of St. Jerusalem, Rose, Malta, the Supreme Sovereign of the Order of the Hospitallers, Chairman of the Board of the World Sovereign Bank of the Order of the Hospitallers.